He's a ship's captain, and he knows the waters of the Potomac and the Patapsco, like you know the veins on the back of your hand. And he's anxious to see DC. And so he tells us, his name is George Henry. He tells us about how, because he wrote a book in 1894 about his experiences. So he says, as I came up under the hill of the building, now he's talking about Capitol Hill. He heard such screaming and crying, he couldn't figure out what it was. And then he again apprehended what was going on. A couple was passing under Capitol Hill, and I don't mean physically inside and under, but on the far side. And it was then, and he has this in his book, and he doesn't need to say anything else. He said, when he saw that virtue was to be sacrificed to the highest bidder. In other words, he saw some nice looking black women chained in the coffin. He knew that they were going to be sold for prostitution, forced prostitution. And he said, it was then and there that I made myself a promise to never come to DC unless I came with an army to take her or burn her down. I suspect that's one reason the history by George Henry is not included on the DC school reading list, because it makes folk nervous when they see the outrage that was reflected, that would make people risk their lives in order to extirpate this institution in the nation's capital. But if they could get a sense of the degradation and the suffering, the pain, the limitations on rights,